Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. And today it's once more me playing. I'm in my Graf Spee 6 German premium cruiser. I'm on the map Trident and it's an Epicenter battle. Now the good news is we are top tier, it's tier 6. The bad news is, well, we don't have a destroyer. So we are in an Epicenter game and the enemy team has the only destroyer, which kind of sucks, which also means that the enemies are basically capping here pretty much for free. And our ships weren't fast enough to do anything about it. Now, you could sit behind the center island and deny the enemy the points of center cap, but so far we don't have anyone there. Now I spawned here on the right side and I moved to a rather aggressive position. Now we currently are seeing the destroyer and my division mate is trying to get the destroyer. But not much luck there. Now I am in a division with a carrier and another cruiser. So let's see what we can make. Now currently this island is providing some very nice cover against the majority of the forces. And I'll try to get some shots off here. The enemy destroyer is a bit problematic. He will probably just be around the center and try to get torpedo launches off, while my division mate in the beginning sent planes towards the center and also tried some spotting. It seems like the enemy carriers are protecting the destroyer with the fighters as well, so it could be tricky. Also, the enemy destroyer is quite a sneaky one, with great concealment, so not an easy target to spot. And yeah, I mean, the enemies already have the center. Now the good thing is you only get points when cap is uncontested. The bad news is nobody of us is contesting yet, so it's something that I might wanna do in the future. Currently I mean, my position might be overrun. If the enemy battleships here push hard, then they'll get behind me and that means I'll have to leave the island. A friendly Bayern here is kind of coming in the direction to help. We would need the New Mexico to back up the Bayern, then I would be very confident that they can keep my rear secure. But it doesn't look like the New Mexico has a willingness push here. Now so far I didn't get a lot of good shots in and I'm really deciding if I'm not trying to move behind maybe the island to the left. It's just that I'll probably not get great shots from there either. And I really don't want to get caught behind this island if the enemies push too much. Now my team is generally in a bad position because yeah, we are lacking a destroyer to take the center. And, well, at least we got some eyes on the enemy. Friendly planes are spotting him currently. And we see enemy fighters are already moving in there to protect the enemy destroyer. Now, since I'm not doing an awful lot in my current position, it's probably time to move out. And while it would be a consideration to help here on the right flank, I don't want to fight here at the zone wall. There is really no tactical advantage to fighting at the zone wall, and I'm more concerned about this center point. So I'll try to keep this island as a little bit of cover against the ships behind me, and now I'll move towards the small island that will let me at least contest the center and stop the bleeding. Well, let's hope I can get a few nice hits on the perf. I'm using my hydroacoustic search because I'm expecting the enemy destroyer to launch torpedoes in my direction. Also, if I manage to get close enough, I might catch him in his smoke. So, and there he is. Now, the enemy destroyer obviously didn't expect the hydro. He is a little bit caught off guard. Unfortunately, a Graf Spee is not really a good ship to take down a destroyer. The guns, well, you don't have enough guns and they aren't firing fast enough. So thankfully the destroyer is pretty slow to react. He was seems like completely caught off guard, and he is sailing towards one of my torpedoes, which is pretty nice. And now that was important. The enemy destroyer is gone, and with that the biggest advantage. Now they already have a big lead cap-wise, but something we should be able to deal with over time. Now here on the right flank, our New Mexico is finally pushing in a little bit too late against an enemy Bayern. They'll probably have a duel around there, but can't really help that much. On the left flank we have a Fuso who is visiting the zone wall for whatever reason, and personally I'm finally in a position where I can contest or maybe even capture the center. I'm getting interrupted here. I'm also not terribly well angled, or let's just say I'm showing broadside towards the Leander, which is very unhealthy. There are some dive bombers coming over me. It looks like they aren't particularly interested in me, but I'll launch my fighter plane here and I'll try to get into better cover and stop showing broadside. I'll now try to get on the other side of this island so I can use it as better cover, and then maybe sit there angled and see if I can engage the Leander or the Perf. Now both ships have smoke, which could be tricky if they have it ready. Especially since there are enough carriers and planes around, so that probably have no trouble spotting me even if they are sitting in smoke. Meanwhile, there is a nice little Nuremberg who is showing broadside, but he's, well, I mean, he's still maneuvering. Maybe I can catch him in a turn. Well, it doesn't look like it. But let's just try this again. And afterwards, there might be a possibility to launch some torpedoes towards a smoke. With 8 kilometers, I have a decent torpedo range. It's also a possibility that our friendly Leander here is pushing in with Hydro. And you'll know this time, I think the Nuremberg isn't turning. Oh yes. That's nice. And it looks like the enemy fighters are taking out my plane. And look at that, there is a Perf just sitting there broadside. Now Perf is trying to get out of here. Hopefully he will be too late. And a decent sized hit. For some reason the Perf is still broadside on. I don't understand. I mean, he was moving. I actually thought he was like running away or something, but it looks like he just came around the island to launch some torpedoes and try to reverse back. Which was a terrible idea, and which means we are now in the lead with one ship, but, well, we are still behind at points because we had the center for so long. By the way, the enemy Leander got taken out by my division mate with torpedoes while he was in smoke, which is pretty nice. Now the two enemy battleships are very far away, which is good news for us. Because we don't have battleships ourselves anymore and the enemy battleships are quite healthy, if they stick together we are in some serious trouble. But we still have 2 carriers, and the carriers might be able to prey on the lone battleships. Meanwhile we have 3 cruisers and we are somewhat together. Now it looks like one of our cruisers is trying to hunt down the carriers, while I'm more thinking of engaging the Bayern. The Bayern is coming for our carrier here. And our carrier might just get spotted by planes, so the Bayern might be able to get shots off. So maybe we can distract the Bayern, or at least use the distraction our carrier is providing. And if we focus our fire on the Bayern, we should be able to take her down with planes and 2 cruisers. So let's see how this goes. And meanwhile the Leander has spotted Independence, which I think is good news, but unfortunately he got taken out by a carrier. Would have probably been better if he had stayed with us. Now I won't do an awful lot of damage against the good angled Bayern with my armor piercing shell, so I might consider going for high explosive, or I'll just go for a torpedo rush. With 8-kilometer torpedoes and a Bayern coming towards me, she is almost in range, though I would want to launch one launcher early and then keep the other for close-up action. My division mate here was trying to launch some torpedoes as well, which unfortunately resulted in a collision, but the Bayern not in a position to abuse that currently. So let's just have one launch in case the Bayern goes this direction, and I probably should have launched further to the right. But anyway, I'm not very hopeful in this case, and I will now just charge in. Shouldn't take me too long to reach the Bayern. I have pretty good angles, and the second launcher should be enough to take her out. Meanwhile, since my rear gun can't reach the Bayern anyway, I can just shoot the Independence. Bayern is on fire as well, I think. And that was a nice hit. So at this point, I'd much rather use my guns on the Independence, because I figure the Bayern goes down to my torpedoes pretty soon. Although I guess a little bit more gun damage together with the burning might have just done the trick as well right now. So yeah, also my carrier decided to give me some additional help. A bit of a communication problem, I guess, on our part, because I could have taken it out with torpedoes, although maybe he would have gotten on another salvo in that case. Unfortunately, I got hit by 2 enemy torpedoes, because the enemy carrier decided to torpedo in the melee as well. But yeah, at least I can dodge those torpedoes quite easily. Now the Independence comes around the corner, my shells are ready, he's showing full broadside, and down he goes. A bit of wasted 2 torpedoes from my division mate, I'm afraid, here as well. So yeah, our coordination isn't that great this game. But all well that ends well or so, although it hasn't ended yet. The enemy still have 1 carrier and in New Mexico. Now we have 4 ships, but well, I'm at half hit points. My cruiser division mate is pretty low, and I think our carrier has also taken quite a bit of damage already. Yeah, it's... Now the problem is that New Mexico is coming this way, and he will probably go inside the cap circle. Once he is inside the cap circle, yes, he started capping now, we won't get any more points. So we are now only getting points from the center and the middle circle. And if he continues just straight towards the center, then yeah, he can deny us a points win, and we will have to sink. On the other hand, we already have quite a lot of points. Sinking a carrier is also giving us points, so you know, I think the New Mexico might be too late. Now unfortunately my Graf Spee doesn't turn that well, and I didn't manage to dodge those, and even worse, there is another airstrike incoming. Now big mistake on my part, I used my repair, and now I'm getting torpedoed again. And if I get flooded now, I'll be in trouble. But fortunately I'm not. Also, we have almost won. We need like 3 more ticks. And then this is over. So at 999, and we just lost our carrier. So I'm afraid our carrier was spotted by planes. And he got taken out by the New Mexico, which means the battle's still going. Now I'm getting an awful lot of over-penetrations at the enemy carrier, so maybe I should have been shooting high explosive, but he's almost down. He is down again. And with that, we now win. Now let's take a look at the results. I managed to get 2,257 base experience, and I'm very happy with that. So it was a successful game. Obvious shout out to my division mates, and we could have coordinated a little bit better in the end. We made it maybe a little more exciting than it had to be, but in the end it was a win. Our only achievement I got is a devastating strike. I scored 89,000 points of damage and I sank 4 enemy ships, and it was very nice that we were able to take out the enemy destroyer. Having the only destroyer in Epicenter is really a big advantage, and we were very lucky to catch the enemy destroyer off guard. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you guys next time.